I know the pandemic has been weird for everybody, and sometimes you look out there and you think, do I live in a post-apocalyptic hellscape? But even before the post-apocalyptic hellscape, a local mall was attacked by killer tomatoes, and it has nothing to do with the pandemic. Please welcome to Field Notes, Kathleen O'Keefe.
Before the corona pandemic shut us all down, or after, I should say, all I wanted to do was to throw a party. I'm a farmer, a winter market manager, and before the shutdown, I used to work behind the scenes on this very stage. I love farming, it's incredibly grounding, but I missed the excitement and energy that comes with the lights and the sound and the roar of the crowd. And so I weeded carrots, ho-hum. I moved chicken tractors, ho-hum. I harvested vegetables, ho-hum. And as the seasons changed from the summer to the fall, my mind started wondering, how are we gonna put on this winter market? All we had been hearing was how bad it was gonna be and how corona cases were gonna spike. And so I submitted my plan to the Board of Health with 6 feet of social distancing, masks, and half the vendors, and we got approved. 2 weeks before our opening date, December 5th, I got an email from the Board of Health. Sure enough, corona cases had spiked, our plan had been revoked, and we needed an alternative. So fortunately, the general manager of the mall and I had come up with plans A, B, C, and D, and so we executed Plan C. We were gonna move from our former hallway into what was an indoor go-kart arena with 8,000 square feet of space. And so we opened our doors to very happy customers and plenty of social distancing. And these customers were so thankful that we had taken the time and energy to put on this market, because they too were desperate for that community that we had all lost. And I was glad for that. I was thankful to hear their appreciation, but I was still dying for that party. And so towards the end of market, in the middle of February, one of my newest vendors came up to me and said, Kathleen, ever since I was a little girl, I used to save my pennies for this festival in Lithuania called Kazuike. Can we have it here? And I said, yes, yes, we can. What is Kazuike? And she told me it was a festival that celebrated St. Casimir and the coming of spring, and I couldn't have been more excited to do this for her. And so I went home and I put on my party planning hat and thinking of all the things you need for a good party: food, music, decorations, and oh right, it's still a pandemic. We can't have food because no one can eat inside. We can't have people gathering because we still have capacity limits. But maybe we can still decorate. And so I looked up what Kazuike was, and if you can imagine Mardi Gras without the sex and alcohol, then you have it. Thousands of people in the streets there to celebrate intricate wooden crafts and pastries and these beautiful flowers that are dyed in bright pinks and blues and purples. And so I thought, that's our in. But how am I gonna make these paper flowers? Or how am I gonna make these flowers come to life? And so I asked to the great goddess of crafts for inspiration. And yes, Martha Stewart, she answered. And so it turns out you can make paper flowers out of anything. You can make them out of paper bags, 6 paper bags, put them together, fold them back, bam, you got paper flowers. 8 pieces of tissue paper, accordion style, little twist tie, bam, even bigger paper flowers. And so I spent weeks with making these paper flowers, and people got involved making paper flowers, and people donated tissue paper for paper flowers, and we packed my car with more decorations than you can imagine. And so market day came, and I'm up on a 4-foot ladder, hanging these flowers, and one of my older vendors came up to me and said, well, what's all this for? And I said, for Kazuike. And he said, well, you must have known her for a long time to put all this effort into this. And I said, no, just met this year. Well, why would you do this for her? Because she asked. And he walked away a little perplexed, and in comes tiny Mila. I can see her scurrying across the floor. And she came up to me, and she was so excited. And there was so much energy in her face, and I couldn't concentrate on what she was saying. I'm up on this ladder looking down at her, trying to figure out what she was saying, and all these words were coming out. And I realized, oh, what a beautiful smile she has. And I'd never actually seen her face before. And at that moment, she went like this, oh, I forgot to put on my mask. And I knew at that moment that we had succeeded in bringing her this tiny slice of home that she had needed. And she gave me that party that I was dying for.
CISA is so honored to bring you these stories about local food and our culture. If you'd like to learn more about CISA's work and our programs, please go to buylocalfood.org. Thank you.